The People's Democratic Party, PDP, will be looking to put its house in order as we gradually approach the election season. Recently, a federal high court sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State, nullified the People's Democratic Party's national convention held in the city between 15th and 16th November 2025. However, the leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party has deepened as a faction aligned with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, dissolved key zonal structures and announced the change in the party's national convention date. The National Caretaker Committee of the Wike-backed PDP announced it had moved the party's national convention to March 29 and 30. Joining us on the show to discuss the current crisis in PDP and the way forward is Dan Ulasi, former chairman of Anambra State's PDP chapter. He'll also touch on the president's latest intervention in the Rivers crisis, where he named Wike the political leader of Rivers, and if it will restore permanent peace in the state. Good morning, Chief Dan Ulasi. Happy 80th. This is the first we're seeing you post your 80th birthday. You're welcome to the morning show.
Wish you the best and Happy New Year.
Good morning. And
many more years.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. Happy New Year, happy 80th.
Welcome.
Chief, good to see you in the new year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Abati, Rufai and Mayo. It's my
Thank
pleasure
you,
talking with you this morning.
Bless you, bless you, sir.
Well, Chief, there is trouble in the PDP. And I hope you are not going to say it's a family issue, it will be resolved. No, this one is no longer a family issue. There's serious crisis. Now, the Court of Justice Agomo, Federal High Court, sitting in Ibadan, already nullified the November convention of the PDP in Ibadan. Well, the party says we'll go on appeal. That's the Turaki-led National Working Committee. What's the reaction to that? Two, Nyesom Makinde and Nyesom Wike, they are daggers drawn with Governor Nyesom Makinde saying Wike is just a vagabond. I think that was the expression he used. And Wike saying, oh, he will show interest in what is happening in Oyo State PDP, and that people should be waiting for him. Meanwhile, the president returns from Turkey, and he says Wike is a political leader of the political leader in Rivers State, a man who is not even carrying a registration card of his party, who is playing amphibious politics, neither toad nor frog. Neither PDP nor APC. But the president says he is a man in charge in Rivers. What kind of politics is that from the president? Even when his own party, the APC, the chairman of the party, Professor Netwada, and the secretary of the party, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, say that Wike is an unknown commodity in the APC. So, these three issues, basically.
Well, I have to start by saying good morning and Happy New Year to three of you.
Bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
I feel very touched. I feel very touched when PDP is being discussed because about 1998, I was standing right behind late Dr. Alex Ekweme with two other people on our side and Atiku Abubakar on the other side as we signed the formation of this party called PDP. So I feel very emotional. Even more now that the skirmishes have, blown out of, control. But I must say that, democracy depends on heavy doses of civility. And it does appear that civility has been lost, not just in PDP, but all over this country. Nobody believes what the other is saying. And once you have a reflective instinct towards self-preservation, one starts stoking, paranoia and hatred. And once you start reaching that state, then there's nothing, you can control nothing. If not, how can you, a judge, a federal high court in Ibadan gave a judgment. It wasn't an order, a judgment. And they were the people who went to court. what you call the Wike-led faction did not go to court. They went to court in Ibadan and lost, asking the court to make certain declarations which the court, based on law and processes of the party, refused to make. So as at now, there's only one PDP led by Alhaji Abdulrahman Mohammed as National Chairman and Senator Sam Anyanwu as National Secretary. Unfortunately for me, I celebrated my 80th birthday last year, and I'm looking forward asking young men to come up and take over. I did not plan for this kind of, shortcomings to befall PDP, especially when I watched my friend, your governor, calling Wike a vagabond, because he said he will be visiting, PDP or your state. He has a right to say so. What is his name? Your governor has also a right to want to go to anywhere, to instill discipline. After all, they were the 5 governors who contested and plotted against Atiku Abubakar. That was why we lost the election in 2023. By that time, Wike and Nyesom Wike, they were the best of friends. That was how I met him in the first place. So today, like they say, no condition is permanent, but I shouldn't believe that one has to get down to the level of calling his colleague a vagabond. It is an uncalled for. Very, very unfortunate that such a language is being used. But most importantly for me and for so many others, that the court, if we follow legal processes, have recognized the so-called Wike faction, so, and that is where most of us are.
Okay, so
you haven't treated all the issues, so. By the way, vagabond simply means somebody who wanders from one place to the other, who does not have a specific home. That's the clear dictionary definition of a vagabond. So I don't know how that becomes a term of abuse.
Yes.
But at least you've clarified that you are a Wike supporter. But the issue about how Wike became political leader in Rivers and what the president said.
Well, what I'm saying, I was coming to that, I wanted to clear some grounds. If you now look at the country, virtually all PDP governors have gone into APC, even when there was no division. They have all gone into APC. So you start to wonder about the values people have. These are people who have benefited from the party called PDP. Some of them have been governors, senators, all manner of benefits they have derived from the party. And they never even made an effort. Like the last time I discussed with Nyesom Makinde in his lodge at Abuja, and I said, why do you people don't, as governors, call a meeting, a consultative meeting, all sides? That time, this problem has not blown into the air. I said we would do it, and they never did it. Now it has descended to, mouth-mouthing and I don't know what to call it. Well, from what the president said in Port Harcourt, I don't know what is what anymore, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of crisis in Port Harcourt. How it developed, I think it was either on this network or on some other network that I said, after the primaries of 2023, when Atiku emerged, Wike, even though never made a public declaration, but said he wasn't going to support the Atiku campaign. So the party met and sent me to Port Harcourt. So I went to meet him, and we spent almost 2 hours together. And that was when I met the young man now who is the governor. He came in, he was introduced to me, and I made 1 or 2 comments to him. And he also made some reply that if he did this, let this happen to him. This is not what I would say on telephone. But it didn't last 6 months. The crisis started. I didn't know the cause of those crises, but incidentally, there is serious crisis in Rivers State, which the president is trying to manage. I don't know what platform he's trying to manage it, because as far as I know, PDP, Wike is still a member of PDP, officially, but serving in APC government. This is not the first time people will be from one party serving in another government. It has happened in the past. So the decisions people make at their convenience is not what I will question. But I have said it once on this your platform that if I leave PDP, I will retire from politics, and that will be very soon. I don't run from one place to the other, but I don't tell people also what to do with their values. I cherish a lot of values. I was so trained to behave that way. If I disagree with you, disagreement is in fact an opportunism, for discussion, so that If you have disagreements, that's a basis for people to sit down. But our governors have not done well when this crisis started to put everybody down and discuss which way forward. And the way they are now jumping into APC tells you that somebody somewhere is working to make sure there is no opposition before 2027 election. That's the much I can say for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Ulasi. Now, if you look at this, let me look broadly at 2027 elections. If you look at the spate of defections from the PDP to primarily, PDP governors to primarily the APC and in some instances some other parties, how confident are you that the PDP would give the APC a fight in the 2027 elections? Also, in an interview you granted, we haven't spoken to you since Mr. Peter Obi announced where he would be pitching his tent. You had said that you need, and I'm quoting you now, you need an astute thinking politician to face President Bola Tinubu. And to that point, Peter Obi becomes relevant because a lot of people in this country accept him. And you were saying it in that the PDP should encourage him to come back to the party. Now that he has pitched his tent elsewhere, who in the PDP do you think can give that viable challenge to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027?
Mario, if you make available to me 2 billion naira, I will give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a run for his life that he will not forget. Even if he wins, it will be with nation of a state. Unfortunately, I don't have the kind of money people move around in this country for public service. It is the kind of money that encourages people to steal when they're in government, because you don't know how they manage to raise billions of, when you call billions of naira, it gives some of us good flesh, how people spend that kind of money, and we expect them to offer honest service to the common people. That is why I said 774 local governments in this country. Water is not running anywhere, and we seem shamelessly not worried about it. People moving vehicles, governors moving 40 vehicles, attending functions in their own city. So the problem is not Nigeria, it's not just PDP, it's so fundamental that it's become both genotypically and phenotypically specific. When the problem is genetic and it's environmental, then we have serious crisis in this country. That is why look at the number of people dying. On the television this morning, you can see hundreds of people being shown in Kwara State that people were killed. I don't know whether my president has come back from Turkey. What he's looking for in Turkey, I don't know. Instead of people sitting down to think how to make this country a lot better, they are just gallivanting from one place, Paris to Dubai, Dubai to this place, all of them, not just this government. But I think we have fundamental problem that we're not practicing democracy. What I call what is going on in Nigeria is what Russians normally call democratic centralism. Somebody stays somewhere, like I think somebody was discussing on your television set this morning, said the governors appoint local government chairmen. Look at the billions of naira being given to local governments in this country, and water is not running anywhere. Water, the basic necessity of life, is not running anywhere. No governor can take you to town
to that question that
and
can the PDP
open a tap and water is running.
Sir, can the PDP give the APC a run in the 2027 elections, or should they sit this one out?
It will be difficult for me to answer this question for now until things normalize. And we know who is left. Because I started by saying that a lot of people, governors, are leaving the PDP. But I just attended a meeting in Abuja, and you see a lot of, like-minded, honest, transparent people who still believe in PDP. But they are, as skeptical as I am, and I said, let us give ourselves another 1 or 2 months, and then when we have the next meeting, then we know who is left. If it is possible, like I said, I'm no more very active. I mean, I started this party, and at my age, I have to encourage young men to come up. And a lot of them come to my place every other day. I'm encouraging them to do something better for this country. We must have an effective opposition to give President Tinubu a run for his money.
Okay, Chief. I'm sorry, you said if they give you was it 2 billion naira or $2 billion you meant? Because if it's 2 billion naira, that will not even buy their lunch. That will not even buy their lunch. Is it 2 billion naira?
Rufa, if you give me that one... Rufa, if you give me $2 billion, I will die. I mean $2 billion. That's the kind of thing that one can use to start for presidential election. I haven't seen that kind of money locally. But what I'm saying is that because we have 36 states. We have 36 states. Sorry, go on.
Okay, because when you said 2 billion, I just wanted to clarify, because 2 billion will not even qualify. It's not going anywhere.
Yes, I said 2 billion. I meant 2 billion naira.
2 billion naira. No, you are not ready.
And it will help one.
Then you are joking now. You are joking.
No.
2 billion.
I'm not joking. You can. Let me tell you why I said this. You know, let me tell you something. With due humility, when I come out at the airport, Nigerians meet me, both local, airport, and foreign, to thank me for whatever opinions I have. With due humility, that makes people think that all is not lost. So what I'm saying, excuse me, all I'm saying is that, yes,
Chief, we don't have time, but please.
All I'm saying is that we can do better without so much money. We can do much better without so much money.
I get the point.
We have crystallized our election to be based on money.
I get the point.
People in this country listening to good ideas.
I get the point. I know, I get the point of what you're...
Somebody's talking there.
I'm the one talking because there's no time and I've not gotten to the question. I just wanted to clarify the money part, but 2 billion will never go anywhere. This one ordinary MC Oluomo spent close to 1 billion, over 700 million of President Tinubu Kabe for his pocket. They are talking 2 billion. It's not going to go anywhere. So, but with due respect, I'm happy you are equally very frustrated with the state of things in this country. Have you had time to advise the Wike you support so much in most of your entries that while he was busy going to campaign in Rivers State across the local governments, the roads and the streets were dirty in Abuja and they don't have public water in Abuja? Have you taken that time to advise the Wike that you support? Because it's also part of this system and they have not delivered the goods of democracy. Well, have you taken that time to advise him?
I mean, advising Wike in what respect?
The fact that things are not working in Abuja while he was going to campaign across the local governments in Port Harcourt, things were not working in Abuja. There was refuse on the road. There was all the things you complain about. If you go to Abuja now, public water there might be, but there's going to be challenges as regards getting them. You know, the street lights, I know for a fact, it's not everywhere it works in Abuja. Why don't you advise him to focus on that? Because I think you guys are quite very close. He has a lot of deferment and respect to you. So let's even start from there. At least if you can help, advise and change and at least get your political associates, Governor Wike, to get to start doing things. Yes. Maybe we can start to reach one and to change Nigeria if we are all frustrated about what is happening.
Okay. I get where you're coming from.
Yes.
Now let me tell you something, Rufai. You're in Abuja. I think you're in Lagos. I tell you honestly and sincerely, most people who are in Abuja today believe that 8 years of Buhari's government that somebody served as Minister of FCT was a disaster. Go to most parts of Abuja today, you will see what Wike is doing, exactly what he did in 8 years as governor of Rivers State. There's an exemplary something to present about performance at Federal Capital Territory. He will not do everything overnight in 2 years and 2.5 years. But they have manifestly shown that you can use the public office to do good. And ask anybody who lives, and I challenge anybody who is in Abuja, I'm prepared to put the bill for those to go and see the extent. People are calling even area that never expected to have good roads. He's asphalting most of the roads there. In terms of performance, nobody, and I said nobody should challenge Wike, because when he was governor of Rivers State, emirs, Sultan, everybody was coming, inaugurating one project or the other. That means somebody is functioning. We're in a country where nobody has value for performance.
No, but Snake,
we have value for stealing money and making it a way of life. So if Wike is, excuse me, let me finish what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, there were refuse on the road recently.
What I'm saying is...
There were snake venom problems, so... Oh yeah, go ahead. There was still refuse on the road recently.
No, what I'm saying is that in a country where performance... No, I didn't hear what you said about venom.
I said they didn't see correct snake venom to give victims in Abuja recently. In FCT hospital, they didn't see snake venom, anti-snake venom to be able to save the life of that Ifanaya singer in the same Abuja that you are taking that is El Dorado today. Contractors and everybody are, they are there every time. So I don't know what you are saying. I know the street lights have not been fixed. So go ahead, sir. Rufai, what I'm saying is that if you, as a journalist, and you're a very honest and active one,
compare 8 years of whomsoever was there before Wike came, and compare the 2.5 years Wike have been there, you will see significant progress, a difference. Okay. The president who put him there knew that he would make a difference, because it was an APC disaster for 8 years of Buhari. That's what I'm trying to say.
Chief.
And he has made manifest progress in terms of infrastructural development in Abuja Federal Capital. And I challenge anybody, I'm prepared to organize anybody. Let us go and see what he has done on the ground, compared with the minister who was there for 8 years and did virtually nothing.
Okay, Chief.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Chief. Well,
I'm not.
That's
all I'm saying.
Yeah, yes. we have to go now. But before we go, do you agree with the view that the only reason, the only way President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can lose the 2027 election is if he decides not to run? Yes or no? Do you agree?
Can you please repeat the question?
Okay. In other words, it looks like the APC has already won the 2027 election at the presidential level. The only reason President Tinubu will not win is if he decides that he's withdrawing from the race. Do you agree?
Well, it's a matter of opinion. Tinubu ascribes to himself some level of performance. It is for you and I to assess.
I'm just asking you, will he win or will he not win?
Not.
No, just simple question. It doesn't require an explanation.
Well, because I will not vote for him, I don't believe that he has performed, and therefore I don't see why he should win.
Okay, thank you very much.
We need a more active, you know.
And meanwhile, you are supporting Wike. You are supporting Wike.
Tinubu has not performed. So who puts the Wike in there? 1 minute just now, sir. You supported Wike. You say he has done very well. Secondly, you are supporting. You said Tinubu did not perform.
I don't want this thing to be. I said. You are laughing there because you know what I said is, compared with the minister who served as FCT minister for 8 years, in 2.5 years of Wike being minister, he has made so much difference in that capital. Okay. That's what I said.
You want Wike as minister, but you don't want Tinubu as president. It's very contradictory.
Yeah.
We have to go, sir. The contradiction is very clear to our viewers. It's very clear. Anyway, thank you, sir.